Okay, folks. It's Thanksgiving Eve, and it's time for me to start my Thanksgiving cooking. Um, Today I'm going to cook my sauerkraut and greens, and this is the sauerkraut I'm going with this year. I'm going with the boar's head, and this is the piece I'm going to use for the sauerkraut. And these are the greens. I got 2.5 pounds of collards and 1.5 pounds of mustard greens. You know, and I've done this many times, and if you see my videos, you know how I do this. In summary. The greens I'm gonna cook for an hour. I'm gonna take these and put them in here's my water over here. I got like an inch of pork water that I had my ham house cooking in the crock pot last night. I'm gonna cook my pig feet in here. And I got that one, I'm gonna boil that. Then I'm gonna put these blanched greens in there. I'm gonna cook them once they've been broken down. Once they start boiling, I'm gonna for 30 minutes they're gonna boil, and that's when I'm gonna add the chopped onions. And in 45 minutes, that's when I season it with the salt. And in about an hour, the greens should be done. As far as sauerkraut goes, I'm gonna cook the pig's feet first. Boil that real good for about half an hour. Remove that dirty water, then put some fresh water in and boil it again for another 30 minutes. And then if it's dirty, and it probably will be, remove that. And then the last water is what I'm gonna cook it in. I'm gonna cook that pig's feet with the sauerkraut together for about an hour covered. And then I'm gonna uncover it, and because it'll probably be a little soupy, I'm gonna uncover it and let the liquid level go down somewhat. And then I'm gonna take the sauerkraut water that I'm gonna drain and I'm gonna keep, add that to the sauerkraut, and continue that for about another hour. So that's about a 2-hour process. So that's what's cooking today, and let me get started. Okay, here's the frozen blanched greens I just put into the boiling pot of hot water. It was boiling. Now the frozen greens made the boiling something that'll start back up. Trust me. And here's the pig's feet. I'm starting the first boil for the first dirty water that I'm going to remove. And here's the sauerkraut that I just drained. And look at all the sauerkraut water that I used to throw away that came out. This is going back in. This is what's going to make it sour again. Okay, now my greens have finally went from that big blocks of ice, and now it's pretty much melted. Now it's pretty much distributed like I want it to be. Now, I have it on high too, by the way. Now it's time to bring it down to medium, cover it, and then I'm gonna start my cooking with the greens for half an hour before I add the onions. And this is the pig's feet first boiling. Look how dirty this water is. And it's only been for like 15 minutes now, to half an hour. So I think I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes today. I'm gonna take these pig feet out, rinse them off, and put some clean water in here. And then we start. Okay, 30 minutes done passed, and it's time to add the onions to my greens. Also, I'm gonna add a little ham hot water to this. It's getting just a little low. You don't want to cover, I always go over this, you don't want to cover the greens with the water. You just want the greens water to be just beneath the surface of the greens, which is kind of it. But I'm just going to add a little bit more when I add the onions. And this is the second boiling. I'm gonna change this to, this takes 30 minutes for you to do the collard greens. And if you do this in 15 minutes with the dirty water boiling, you should complete 2 of these as well. And this water's pretty dirty. And I'm going to change it, and then I'm going to add it with the fresh water. That's going to be the water I'm going to use to cook the sauerkraut in. Okay, my greens been cooking now for 45 minutes. This is 15 minutes plus the 30 minutes that I already did. And now it's time to season it and do it for another 15 minutes. That should be it. This is the final water that I'm going to use for the pig's feet. And I put the pig feet in the pot and cook the sauerkraut in, since this is the pot I'm going to cook the sauerkraut in. Since I'm putting that other pot and changing pots. So now, it's been boiling for 15 minutes. You can see this water is clean, not dirty like the other two. Now I'm going to bring the heat down, add the sauerkraut, and bring the heat down to low. You want to bring the heat down like simmer, very low. And now we start cooking the sauerkraut now. Okay, the hour is up. My greens are finally finished here. It takes an hour to do this. I tasted it. It tastes delicious. And the sauerkraut is really just starting to cook because it's been cooking for like 15 minutes now. It's got about 45 minutes to go um, before I uncover it and reduce the liquid down somewhat. Just a little bit soupy right now, but I want to cook this for another 45 minutes at very low heat, and then I'm going to uncover it and cook it some more until the liquid goes down. And that should be it. Okay, my sauerkraut has been cooking for an hour now. And I'm gonna let it continue. I just added the onions too, by the way. I had half an onion. I had a half onion for the collard greens and mustard greens, and another half for the sauerkraut here. I just added the onion, and it's kind of soupy now. So remainder of the cooking, I'm gonna cook with the cover off to bring the liquid level down some, and make it a little crispier. But so far, so good. It tastes good. And, it tastes nice and sour. So I'm very pleased with the way it's coming out. So I'll just also turn the flame up just a little bit so I can um, make the decrease of liquid more rapid. Just a little bit. I have it like on medium low. It was on low, so I have it on medium low now. And you can see it bubbling more too. So I want to do this until some of the liquid goes, make it a little bit more crisp, and then I'll be done. Okay, the hour is up. I'm done cooking the sauerkraut with the top off. And as you can see, it's not as soupy as it was. A lot of that water has evaporated. That's what I want. I want it to be like this. It makes the sauerkraut crispy. You don't want it soupy. And just the cover that I use, you like to see what I'm doing when I'm cooking sauerkraut because it's such a long process. So I cooked it with the cover on for 1 hour. Dealing with soup because it had a lot of the soup in there, a lot of the juices, and I want that sauerkraut to get those juices and the flavor. And then you want to remove that liquid, then you cook it again for another hour with the cover off so you can get this effect. Okay, I'm done for today. Thought I was done. Just one more thing before I close. I just wanted you to see how dry this sauerkraut has gotten after it has sat for like an hour off the heat. I mean, it looked like the liquid is totally gone. That liquid is in that sauerkraut. When it hit that heat tomorrow, that liquid will come out. But even if I need to add some more, I have some more sauerkraut juice left. But this is what I kind of want. I don't like that soupy stuff. I like it dried out, kind of like this. But I'm gonna add some sauerkraut water before I put it on the stove tomorrow. And if it doesn't release its own juices when I put the heat on it. But wow, look how dry it is. It's kind of cool.